help. I'm in trouble and I need help.
Darkness imprisoning me. All that I see, absolute horror. I cannot live, I cannot die. Trapped in myself, body my only fear.
It's Morse code. For what? SOS.
Hello, and thanks for tuning into Thark Gaming. Today's video is going to be a quick and easy tutorial, and we'll get straight into it. As you know, right now the Summer Carnival event is going on. It's similar to all the other Dragon events where players need to capture as many Dharma Dolls as possible the first half of the event, and rank as high as possible in the Dragon Damage event, which is the second half. So I've already created a video, I believe it was my first video, that explains how to go about doing the event and maximize your gains to get a character to +8 without having to use summoning contracts or topping up. Now, there's a lot of useful information in that video, but today's video we're going to be focusing on how to get as many Dharma Dolls as possible within 5 or 6 minutes, because during the first events you could use the whole 15 minutes to find as many Dharma Dolls as possible, but nowadays, especially after the server merge, it seems to be all gone within like 5, maybe 6 minutes tops. So you need to be quick about it if you want to score any of the Dharma Dolls. Now, the disadvantage is that now you have more people competing for the same number of Dharma Dolls. The advantage is that this is not the first Dharma Doll event. We've had many in the past, at least 3 or 4 that I can count. And over the last couple of months, we've gotten kind of used to looking at the clues and kind of guessing where they are. And because of that, during the last event, I was pretty much able to guess most of where the Dharma Dolls are. But I realized there are newer players too, and this is specifically for you. And veteran players can also take advantage of this. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be taking a look at a spreadsheet that I put together. That's right, Thark and his spreadsheets, right? So in this spreadsheet, I've kind of created a database of all the clues that we've seen so far, and against the clue, it tells you exactly where to find that Dharma Doll, right? So let's take a look at the spreadsheet. If you scroll through the spreadsheet, you can pretty much recognize a lot of these clues that you've seen in past events. What I've done is, like, over the past couple of months, I've jotted down all these clues into the spreadsheet so that at a later event, if I come across the same clues, instead of trying to remember where they were, I can just look into the spreadsheet and find exactly where they are, and hence save some time. I know a lot of people like to ask in guild chat and world chat, but that's just wasting time. Be efficient. Just pull up a spreadsheet. And for those of you who would like the spreadsheet, I'll make it available in our Discord channel so you can download it. And this is a community effort, right? So if you guys have a list of clues as well that you have documented, let's try to share and create a bigger list if possible. I think my list is pretty comprehensive. It has almost all the clues that we've seen so far, but I'm sure I've missed a few. So if you look at my list and you see that something is missing, feel free to chip in. I'll make sure that I add that to the database. I'm hoping that you'll be honest and not just keep the clues to yourself, but I trust you guys. We're going to see how easy it is to pull up the locations based on the clue, right? What I sometimes do is I am on my phone during the Dharma Doll event, and I will just go to Dharma Doll, the Dharma Doll clue page, and I will read the clue. And sometimes my wife likes to help me. She will have the spreadsheet open on my laptop, and I will just say, read out a clue like son of officer. And then all she would have to do is, in the spreadsheet, if you hit Control F, it pulls up the find and replace menu, or the pop-up, the find and replace pop-up. You just have to type in that clue in here. So if I tell my wife, son of officer, or let's say I don't have my wife around, let's say I want to do it myself, it just takes 2 seconds. You don't even have to type son of officer, just type in officer, and then hit enter, and then it highlights the clue in the database, and then you just see, you can see where that Dharma Doll is located. And in this case, it's chapter 4 in the dungeons, right? So you go to the dungeons, scroll down to chapter 4. Now, when you scroll down to the beginning dungeon stages, just be careful. If you scroll too quickly, it closes that dungeon chapters page. It's happened to me a couple of times. When you scroll too quickly, it closes out. So just be careful. Make sure you don't have wet fingers because sometimes that tends to close the page too. But just be careful. But here, you don't have to wait for people to call it out in guild chat or try to remember because that takes time. Just type in officer and look for that keyword. When it highlights that cell in the spreadsheet, you just look at the location and then you know it's in chapter 4. And for some of these, I've put the name of the person on the picture of the dungeon. So when you scroll through the list of chapters, you'll see a picture of Helmeppo right next to chapter 4. So if you don't want to look at the chapter numbers, some people are more visual, they look at images. Some people are more data oriented and they just look at numbers and words and stuff. So I'm trying to make it easy for both types of people. All right. And I'll try to get to the other chapters too. I'll try to add in some kind of explanation of what you see on the image of those chapters. And then once you're done with that, you attack the Dharma Doll, immediately hit skip so you're not wasting time. And then I pull up the Dharma Doll clue page again, and I see that, let's say I see it's lazy justice. So I just type in lazy, and then bam, I see that the clue lazy justice leads to strong world Aokiji. And for the strong world clues, it's always on the first one. So if it's like a Blackbeard, it's always Blackbeard 1. If it's Whitebeard, it's always Whitebeard 1. If it's Hawkins, it's always Hawkins 1. So lazy justice, it's leading to strong world Aokiji 1. And some of these are very intuitive, like dark fruits. It obviously means the shadow fruit that Blackbeard has. So Fallen Navy, X-Drake used to be a Navy admiral, and you know the deal. So a lot of these you don't even need the database. You see it and you can immediately go there. But some of the more tricky clues, just type in a part of the keyword and just hit enter, and it'll pop up right here, and you see exactly where to look for. Then as soon as you start the battle, skip the battle, then go back to the clue page. Let's say the next one is Abyss of Deep Sea. Just type in Abyss, enter, and then there, it pulls up, you go to sailing and then impel down. So when you open the impel down interface, you'll probably see it right there. So just click on that. And then an example for another stronghold, dark fruits, you just type in dark and hit enter, and then there you go. Dark fruits is stronghold Blackbeard 1. And you go there immediately. But that's essentially how you can try to get all 5 of the Dharma Doll clues as soon as possible. In my previous video, I mentioned that as soon as the event starts, don't even look at the clues, just hit the one in the front page. There's always one panda or penguin or something right there in the main page. So just click on that and start with that always, because everyone sees that and that gets done very quickly. So before it's completed, you want to click on that at the very beginning. Try to focus on, so the strong world clues are kind of easy, right? You see things like fame and fortune that we've seen many times, lazy justice, chivalry. We've seen a lot of these many times, so a lot of people by now know that it's in strong world. So the strong world clues, I would make that a second priority, unless it's something very obvious, like corner of the bar. And that's obviously like the guild bar, so you just go to the guild page and click that immediately. Or heading to New World. New World is obviously access through the guild, so you want to go there. Triple challenge is another obvious one. If you open the enemy attack page, there are 3 different challenges, so that's pretty obvious. So if you see that there's something very obvious, prioritize that and go there first, because guess what? Everybody else is prioritizing that, and those dolls are going to be killed much quicker than the other ones. And then I usually leave the chapters for number 4 and 5. Usually there are 2 dungeon chapters, or sometimes there's just one. But if it's not an obvious one, I leave it for the end. So if there's something like, I don't know, Haunt of Panda, like that clue doesn't really tell me much. I would usually save that for the end. While everybody's trying to find Haunt of Panda and wasting time, I'd be doing some of the other clues that I can easily either remember or look through the database. And then by the time I get to the 4th or 5th clue, I can just type in Haunt, and then it will pop up right here, and I'll see that it's in chapter 26, and I can immediately go there, thereby saving a lot of time. So if you do this, you will probably get all 5 Dharma Dolls at least 3 or 4 times, which is great. Probably not 3 or 4 times, because now with the added population of the server, it's going down pretty quickly. So I mean, hey, even if you get all 5 at least 2 times, that's 20. So right now, it used to be Sakura, now it's boy points. So you'll get 20 boys, which is what I got this morning. I got 20 boy points. I don't think I got all 5 2 times. I think I got all 5 the first time, and then 4 the second time, and then I think I got one more new, the one that was on the front page, I think. But I got 10 in total, which is 20 boys. But that's it for today's tutorial. I promised I would make it quick, and there you have it.